entrepreneur, author, activist, recording artist, host, social media superstar, and more. Please welcome the queen, the new supreme,
the irrepressible T.S. Madison.
T.S. Madison.
T.S. Madison.
Miss T.S. Madison.
Mother T.S. Madison is in the building.
Not have to face or walk that road that I did before.
I want to have my own version of the talk, the real, the view.
Miss T.S. Madison.
God, don't take me.
Get ready. The T.S. Madison Experience.
Now she's opening up spaces on the internet, on television, and that's why it is so imperative and important that I'm here today. I got one thing to say, Rue.
What?
New weave, 22 inches, yes! Hey everybody, this is T.S. Madison, and if you are trying to grow your business, brand, or product, why not advertise with me? Email me at booktsmadison@gmail.com so that you can get in on our comprehensive advertisement packages. Unique visits, unique subscribers, honey, a broad demographic. Advertise with me today.
It's morning, and we slept the night away. Shout out at the song I want to sing. It's Maddie in the morning, 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 Maddie in the morning. What? Wait, honey, it's 9 o'clock somewhere. Get in here and watch the damn show.
Cut that damn thing off, Mo.
I cut it off.
I cut that stuff off them sports. We ain't doing no sports today.
It was an accident.
We ain't doing no sports today. It ain't no trans. Ain't no trans women in sports today.
Yes, there are.
I'm talking about in here. I don't want to be in no goddamn. The only sports I want to be in, that motherfucker, is in the jock strap. Let me jingle the bells and jiggle the balls. I don't want to be in no fucking sports. I want to talk solely about me this morning. Let the narcissists and the TS come out right now, right here and right now. I want to solely talk about me today so that when I break this other shit down to y'all can truly understand. Solely, let me talk about me. When I introduce myself to the world, this video, wherever it goes, is going to go. When I introduce myself to the world, I introduce myself to the world as T.S. Madison. That means transsexual Madison. That means transsexual. That means chick with a dick. That means titties at the top, dick at the bottom. That means preoperative transsexual. That means I identify as trans, Trans. The only reason why I roll up under the woman umbrella is because this, darling. But everything else, I identify as trans, okay? I want to start out with this so that we can definitely get some clarity into some situations that's going on here. I need you to share this with your friends, your loved ones, your co-workers. Mo, get my phone over here and go live on Instagram real quick to tell the girl to come over here because it's about to get real rough. You about to get rough.
I got you.
Oh, don't let me bitch, that's that smoke. Oh, Mo, you in here smoking like that.
Me.
What? You couldn't believe it was me. Don't you have my mama out here thinking that I do drugs? Okay. So share this with your friends. Ladies, please share this with your friends. Gentlemen, because I know some of you hoes out there watch because it tells me in the algorithm. Share this stuff with your friends, okay? Let me go over here on the Instagram because it's about to get real rough today. Today it's about to get real rough. Rough around the edges. It's about to ruffle some feathers. It's about to really make, if you didn't like me last week, you're definitely not going to like me this one. Because I'm not about to, there's no more holding back with the children. I'm so sick of y'all with the bullshit. I'm at the gates of I'm at the gates of the River Jordan, High Yadabo Shata, with y'all pussy ass motherfucking hoes, bitch. And all y'all that know me know that I cuss, and bitch is a universal term. Motherfucker is a universal term. All of it is a universal term. So if I say a motherfucker, I could be talking about a man or woman, and I may be talking about your child. If I say bitch, I might be talking about a man or woman and possibly your child. So I'm just letting you, I'm already doing my disclaimers. You feel what I'm saying? I'm already using my disclaimers so that you hoes could truly understand that there is no strangers in this house, bitch, okay? All right, so Instagram, I want y'all to see live. Mo, slide this over here, honey.
Okay.
Slide this over there. It's on me, but you could turn around and let the folks, put it over there, let the folks know.
Over here?
Right there, let them turn around, Mo. Mo, do the thing like that. God damn, back it up. Bring it here.
Bring it up. Okay, hold on. I'm trying not to be in the
Set the phone right there.
Okay.
What it look like? You gonna be
looking at me.
Good. It's okay. That's good. Let them get acquainted. Move. All right, people's places and things on the Instagram. Today I'm going to be loud, live, and in color on my YouTube, addressing many, 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 many things. The title of the YouTube is "It's a Lot to Unpack." I'm going to have some panelists today. Most of my panelists will be from the transgender community. Hello. Most of my participants today will be members of the transgender community. If there's something that you need to get off of your chest to me, I'm cordially inviting you to the YouTube channel. I'm cordially inviting you to the Facebook and the Twitter. I'm cordially inviting you over so that you can come on. I will be dropping a link for some people, just in case there's something that they need to get off of their chest. I need to put the mic on.
Put the mic on.
Well, make sure that it ain't gonna be rubbing against nothing, because that's a lot of shit that I'm getting ready to say.
Okay.
You say please pin the channel. Here we go. There go Mo, y'all putting a microphone on.
Hey everybody.
So the YouTube channel is at the Real TS Madison. That's the YouTube channel at the Real T. Same way it is on Instagram at the Real TS Madison. At the Real TS Madison. Oh, we got another.
God. I just had to.
I know it was real rough.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're about to get rougher, but you still gotta sing like a man.
Come on, Mo, because we ain't got a lot of time.
Okay, there you go.
Chi, come on over to the comments, y'all. Come on. I'm gonna drop the link down there when it's time, because I've seen everybody dropping their links. So I'm gonna let you hoes get off of your chest just a little bit, because I'm like the enemy. I will kill, steal, and destroy your ass, bitch, just in case you make any types of fucking mistakes. So did you turn it on?
That's what I'm doing right now. There we go.
Okay, so let me put the Mo, what done fail?
I ain't falling.
What? Okay.
This is the mic.
YouTube. You say I have two things to get off my chest. Praise the Lord. Me too. .com / because Hope got to leave shortly.
Okay.
All right.
All right, now you live. Let's go.
I'm live. All right. Okay. So as you guys know, for a moment, let me turn this around just a bit. Okay. So am I doing it right? Okay. There we go. So as you guys know, for this past, has it been 2 days, Mo? 3? What is it? 2, 3 days? For the past couple of days, I have been attempted, because there's no dragging the TS Madison, bitch. You hoes ain't strong enough to drag fucking me, bitch. I'm heavyweight. I just want to say this right now. You hoes ain't strong enough to drag me, bitch. I am heavyweight. I'm fat on the inside and fat on the motherfucking outside, bitch. So you hoes ain't strong enough to drag me. You have had your opinions, but you ain't strong enough to drag me. And that's the problem. That's the issue a lot of you motherfuckers got with me, that you ain't strong enough to drag me. I've been under scrutiny and a slight bit of heavy attack because of my seemingly, because I'm just gonna call a thing, because of my seemingly insensitivity and things on the Shinquella Robinson story. Okay. I'm going to start from the top just a bit. When I got wind of the story, I've been working. Unfortunately, for a lot of you, you know, no, I'm not going to do this because I had to catch myself. I had to catch myself because the statement that I was going to say was going to be a blanket statement, right? And it was going to offend. And I let me think. Let me get my thoughts. We don't have the same kind of job. Some of you that's watching me, we don't have the same kind of job. We don't have the same kind of job. I'm a star. You're not. And I'm usually I'm on the set doing something. And so my job for the past couple of weeks have caused me, you know, to really be bombarded with work. And I have been filming, I have been acting, singing, dancing, and all of that God has provided my existence and my person and my who I am to make me, my gifts made room for me. Okay. So I've been working. So I didn't have the opportunity to truly, what's going on?
So they can't see you. They see your house.
Oh, well, they see my studio.
Oh yeah.
No more.
No, I'm just going to turn around the camera.
No, because if you do that, then see, I got it pointing to the people. See, they can see you right here. Now come behind.
You trying to make them see that?
Yeah, because it's only going to be here for a second, and everybody need to bring their fucking ass.
Oh, okay. I thought they were trying to see. Okay, gotcha.
So I didn't really have an opportunity to get the chance to weigh in. For the Maddie mob and the people who follow T.S. Madison, y'all already know when I'm not working, not on set, not doing the things that I'm fucking doing in the world. I'm sitting here at the desk in my basement, and I'm going over current events and talking about, you know, lots of things. So y'all know that I cover the stuff for those who are. So I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to the solid mob or to the fan base that know. I'm talking to the outside. All right. So you guys that know that I come and I cover current events and whoop-de-whoop. Anyway, I haven't had an opportunity to do that because I have been working religiously. All right. So the Shinquella Robinson story came out, and I hadn't spoke about it. I had seen it, but I hadn't investigated. I had saw fragments and pieces, but I hadn't had the chance to really dig in and get the situation. The fragments and pieces that I did get from the situation, that it was her friends that she went on vacation with, and she was murdered. I watched the video of her being beaten, drugged. I watched it gagging. Okay, like, girl, what the fuck? And so the other day, I didn't know that it was her funeral going on the other day because I had just landed that night. Right, Mo? Didn't I just come home that night? Yeah, the suitcase is still in the damn living room. Yeah. I just landed that night, and I got up that morning. And when I got up that morning, because I was going to begin to start talking about the current events going on in the world, I opened up messages in my inbox and messages to, you know, on my Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. I opened up messages stating to me, and one in particular stated to me, "Oh, bitch, you not gonna motherfucking talk about this Shinquella Robinson case because it's a motherfucking tranny that killed her." This was my first introduction, and I hate that I gotta sit here, Mo, and try to break down this kind of stuff, but whatever. Because it's finna get real ugly after this. This is the nicest that I'm gonna be today. So this was my first introduction to having an opportunity to start even giving commentary on the subject, because this is what I was introduced to. I was introduced to it really this way. I did not know that it was this woman's funeral. However, I made video, I did a live, I made comments out there because what angered me is she's already been heinously murdered. We have a story that has circulated in which even with me not having the full details of the story, the details that were that I was mainly interested in when it first started was who did it? How did this happen? It named her friends. From my understanding, no trans-identified person was there. Yes, a gay man was there, but we're gonna get deep into that. A gay man and a trans woman are not the same thing. Boom. We'll get deeper into that. But this is what was said. I was like, oh shit. Now, when the trans part was new to me the morning of, because it was very much so, this why you ain't talking about it, bitch. You talk about every fucking, you know they get aggressive.
Yeah, but I didn't know they came at you like that.
Bitch, you don't even want a day in my inbox. Damn. That's why I don't even check the bitch. You know, I don't even go through the filter one. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I go over there like, did I miss any business? And then I see a little, bitch, look, not looking at it. What's the fuck you? Not even paying attention, scroll and delete. So after I saw this shit, and I went immediately and I started looking at that morning. I'm looking like, girl, well, what the fuck? Honey, it was terrible. I had been tagged in it while I was in New York, but I didn't open it. Anyway, you say, what's wrong with the sound? The sound is okay. Are we good with the sound? Because it's a lot of shit I'm finna say. All right. Anyway, so when you really look down at it, it was not a setup, because either way, if I would have said something, I would have been drugged. If I wouldn't have said something, I would have been. If I would have said something, they would have tried to read me. If I would have said something, they were reading me already. So here it is. It was just no way around it. So I did feel the need to come forth and say whatever I want to say. It's the internet. I can say what the fuck I want to say. So I opened up with this. Did you get what I posted, Mo?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Which one though?
My first statement was, I can't. Oh. Now, why did y'all take that and you didn't put that in there?
I got it. Hold
on. Okay. So if you've been following, my first statement was, now why would y'all go over here and do this situation like this? Why would you do this? Like, why would you make this out to be this type of situation? I sent it to you, mama. Fuck yeah. Why would you make this out to be like a trans person has done this, like this girl is trans? Why would you do that? And then y'all ran. I said, and then you people go out and run with this story. You people, as in you motherfucking gum bumpkin, chicken head, stinking motherfuckers who always running with a fucking narrative. That's who the fuck you people is. Since we being clear. And I said that it was one of her own. When I said one of her own, in the initial context of me saying one of her own, I was talking about one of her own as one of her own folks that was there that did it. But after I saw how you were so engulfed in anger about her own, I applied it exactly to, what it should be. Okay, her own, as in a female did this to her. Not a trans person. A female did this to her. Not a trans woman. A female did this to her. So it was not one of us. It was one of her own. And so this made you angry because I turned the mirror back around at you motherfucking hoes. Because what you like to do in the entire existence of a trans women and in general, trans men and trans women, you love to let us know and remind us how we are not you as females. We are not able to give birth. We're not able to ovulate. We're not able. And these are things that biologically we know this stuff. But, I sit back and I let y'all give me these reminders. And once again, I'm not talking to the mob. I'm not talking to the mob. I'm talking to those outside of the mob. Okay. So, you know, when I turn the mirror back around on the children and let the children see themselves and say, because, you know, we're never women any other day of the week. Never. We're never women any other day of the week. We're never accepted as women any other day of the week. Never, ever. So I'm going along with what you say, bitch. I ain't no woman. Okay, fine. I ain't. The truth, let the truth be spoken, then I'm not then. So therefore, being that I'm not, it wasn't one of me. It was one of her own. I didn't disrespect. I didn't motherfucking go all off the deep end and all of that type of shit. I didn't. But each and every day, Mo, can you show them just a bit of the things that I met with each and every day? Each and every fucking day. TS is just trying to make this about her and them. Y'all need to fall back. We want justice for her. This isn't a time for trans community to seek clout and sympathy chase. Pull that down. All right. When you say I want to make this about me and taken away from the situation here, the situation that's going on here that a girl was murdered. There's a situation here. A girl was murdered by people in a room with her. The situation going on in here, a girl was murdered by people in the room with her, and one of those people, one of the murderers that you have pointed out in your rhetoric, has been accused of being a trans person. So we're not taking away from anything. We're just pulling out. We're just pulling out what it's not. Because again, I shall use the example of when it is a black man being accused by rape from a white bitch who screams out that she done been fucking raped, been held and fucked against her will by a black man who was nowhere on the premises, who is nowhere in the vicinity, who knows better to even want to be accused of some shit like that. It is the same. There, because there's going to be an entire witch hunt on him. A whole community of black people die because of one fucking lie. Because of one lie. You think that something as heinous and ugly and disgusting that has happened to this woman in Mexico, you mean to tell me that you don't think that if a fucking tranny, in your terms, has been implicated, do you not know the witch hunt that would happen thereafter? You see how stupid a lot of us black motherfuckers is? Are you crazy? What? Why wouldn't I say anything? Why? How is this taken away from justice for her? We want justice, but we also don't want any other people murdered innocently. One was just innocently murdered. We don't need a whole group to be. We don't want that. So why wouldn't I? Are you crazy? You don't understand it when it's not just black-based or when it's not race-based. You don't understand how black and trans and black or black and gay and black issues run parallel with each other. You don't understand it because you motherfuckers done put us on some whole other planet. We ain't women, we ain't men, we ain't this. I can't even turn around and say, okay, you got it. Y'all got it. It's your world. It's your world. It's your world. You in it, and I ain't. But I didn't do it. My folks that's like me, we ain't do it. Y'all did that. So don't get angry with me, or don't go to accepting me now, or don't get up under this platform because bitch, I met you, a lot of you motherfucking people at the door, men, women. I met y'all at the door with my cock hanging and titties dangling. I ain't never been trying to be anything else but TS. Never. I ain't wake up in the morning and be like, oh my God, I'm a female. No. Because I don't want to be that. That's not what I want to be. And thank you. Now today, I want to move a little bit past me, and I want to have this discussion with a few of my other trans compadres, friends, siblings. You know, I'm going to introduce a couple of folks that you know and a couple of folks that you don't. I'd like to start out with Hope because she got to leave. Hey, Hope.
Hey.
Okay. Thank you for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
Also, I'd like to add Dominique to the panel. Hey, Dominique, good morning.
Hey, sis. Good morning. Hey, Hope.
How are you?
I'm great.
And I'd also like to add my new trans man friend, Kaden, to the panel. Hi, Kaden. How you doing this morning, baby?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. So let's dig in to this discussion. I'm going to fall back for a second because I once again, I don't want to make this about me. I just had to put my disclaimer out there in the world. And as you all are other fellow trans people, I want to let you know that I'm okay with being trans. I'm okay with checking other in the box. I don't know how that might fit with the rest of my other trans people on the panel today, but I'm okay with checking other in the motherfucking box. I've never been nothing else but okay with checking the other in the box. So I want to dispel any rumors and thoughts that I am angry at anybody for being, unapologetically and exactly who they are. Now let's get into discussion about this heinous crime. Let's start out with the crime and how heinous it was. Let's talk about it. Who's going first?
The fact that Black women can be so easily done away with, and everything but this Black woman being done away with is the topic of discussion, is the problem. And I think that that's what a lot of folks are missing here. A woman was murdered, yet another Black woman was murdered. Point blank, end of story. That's what we should be discussing. We should be trying to figure out what the clues are. If we gonna play Inspector Gadget, let's play Inspector Gadget to get this mom some clarity about what happened to her baby, right? Let's not play Inspector Gadget to make memes, to find different ways to get content, to get our YouTube check a little bit more boisterous this month. Like, let's not do that. And it's really funny that in all of the backlash that's being, dished out to trans people around this, y'all are sitting back talking about how it was disrespectful for Maddie to make that announcement on the day of the girl's funeral. But literally, you made a video about Maddie making that announcement 30 minutes after Maddie got off the computer. So make it make sense, because Maddie didn't know it was her funeral, but you did. Maddie didn't understand what was going on, but you did. And you still made a video. But I'm wrong when I had no idea, because I don't live my life in that particular space. The same thing that y'all say to us, and the same thing that y'all sit back and say is, oh, well, I didn't know what was happening in the trans community because that's not my community, so I just didn't know. Madison was minding her own business, living her life in a whole different place, and did not know. But what she did know was that there was falsified information being presented about a community that's already being hunted down, if we're being honest about it. And y'all think that we don't recognize that we're being hunted down because y'all do it in little pickpockets of moments. But it's happening. And so instead of focusing our attention on the fact that there was something afoot here, that for the second time since Kaneka was thrown in that fucking freezer, and we still don't know what happened to that girl. We have another young Black woman who trusted people and didn't come home. And y'all ain't making videos about that. Nobody's making videos about how to get in contact with the mom or what mental health services they can offer. All of y'all Black women with PhDs and all of you Black men who have all of this access to all of these free things and community programs. Where are the videos about the family reaching out to y'all to gain those free accesses to what y'all can offer to them? Where are your videos about making this about her and the family? The second that y'all hear transgender, the second that y'all hear a trans person said anything in defense of transness, now the matter at hand comes second to none to y'all taking the time to bash people. When I type in this situation, when I type in this young girl's name, do you know whose name pops up now? T.S. Madison. Y'all have made this so much about transphobia and hating trans people that now I can't even type this young girl's name in and just find her. I'm finding every trans person under the sun that y'all have an issue with. I'm finding turf video after turf video after turf video. I am barely able to find videos about the young girl. But we're the problem. And I don't understand it.
Dominique?
I completely agree with everything Hope said. I also struggle with this idea that the trans experience, the Black trans experience specifically, is this monolith, right? You may hear one girl that you saw somewhere that talks about she want to have somebody's baby and now all of us want a uterus, right? You may hear one girl that talks about her issues or maybe her experience with cis Black women, and maybe there's a beef with her and a particular girl, and you apply this idea that every Black trans woman, every Black trans man, we are trying to, take everyone's place and undo the way that you all have seen society. We just want to live and eat and like breathe and exist. Like most folks, most Black trans folks specifically, if you go to their social media, they're usually asking someone how to help them pay their rent, how to eat, and how to make it each day. That is the apex of the energy they have and the access that they have. And when it comes to this young lady, if our focus was justice, and as someone who is always asking, what is our definition of justice, right? What really happened? What is really going on? Everything we have access to, we're still making so many assumptions. We saw the fight video. We saw the video of the young girl walking through asking where the friends were at. We know that the initial story the parents were told about her death is no longer true because there was an actual autopsy. And it was maybe 3 days ago when we were told the FBI is investigating. So, as Hope said, if you really wanted justice, what y'all did was attempt to derail justice in the spirit of trying to attack the trans community. And in a spirit of grace, if you're like, we didn't mean to do that, let me introduce you to the concept of intention versus impact. No matter what your intention was, your impact was a bunch of Black folks who happen to be trans as well. We're grieving because we are seeing a Black person who is a Black young person who is gone. We don't know what happened to this baby. And then we're not able to just grieve her loss. We are attempting to grieve and make sure we don't have to grieve one of us, make sure that and I think there's, well, why do y'all have to feel like you have to pin? In a perfect world, I would be able to tell everybody to kiss my ass and not have to worry about people's beliefs about my reputation or my character. But in a real sense, I live in a world where you have to see me as not hostile, as not scary, as someone that you want to fuck, but not someone that you feel like you want to fuck too much in front of somebody. I have to pass all of these ticks and boxes to get to the Kroger and back home and something not happen. And so Black trans people are trying to hold a lot. And in that, y'all may not like everything we say, but I don't know anyone I've ever seen grieve that grieves perfectly. The truth of the matter is Black trans people are grieving the loss of a Black person because when any of us go, we all feel that. And we're trying to figure out how we maintain our safety, how we push back on lies and narratives that we don't want to be associated with. And if y'all really, I know I'm that Black person when there is a mass shooting and they don't show this person's face. In Colorado, for the first day and a half until I could find that boy's mama, I was like, Jesus, please don't let this be a Black man. Please don't let this be a Black man. In the midst of finding out about the trans woman, the trans man that was murdered, the queer people that were taken, the fact this happened at TDOR, all of that, I was like, Jesus, please don't let this picture be a Black man when it comes up. And every Black person has felt that. When there is a mass shooting, we hope it's because you know what? If it's a Black picture, you know the next time you drive through a neighborhood, the next time you get pulled over, the next time you go into a job interview, the next time you walk down a street that's dark at night, people are going to impart whatever that behavior was on you because you're connected to it. So I ask us as a community not to act so damn dense and slow, like we don't know what it's like to have a fear of one person's behavior becoming accountable for one person's behavior. And also, y'all constantly tell us, you Black. We know we're Black. That's why this hurts us so much, because we'll be the girls that are out there picking. Actually, if you really rally some of us Black trans girls, honey, we would have solved this shit like Matlock 2 weeks ago. If you had cut us loose on some of these butch queens, if you had descended the girls upon there, I would have told you from the jump, bitch, you sharing a house with 5 people and one of them barely could get there, honey. Some shenanigans were afoot. Like, if y'all really let us come into the space, we would be able to look at this and say, this is what jealousy, anti-Blackness, lack of self-love, and then looping in transphobia and harm does. And so I think y'all have put justice behind for this family. And I think that you all are ridiculous to think that Black trans people should just shut up and be quiet when y'all want to attack us at the same time.
Well, okay, Kaden, come on, let's get Kaden, because Kaden, you identify as a trans man, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And for those people, for the heterosexual, straight, cis, and all the names, biological, whatever, folks that are watching that are outside of our community, a trans man is a female to male. A trans woman is a male to female. I'm not a trans man. He's a trans man. I'm a trans woman. Because I was on a panel the other day and somebody asked me, is it okay for a trans man to be attacking a woman? And I was like, well, one, that has already been dispelled, that's not a trans woman. And two, there's a difference between a trans woman and a trans man. But we've been trying to educate you guys for so long. It's those that don't want to be educated that's going to continue to be like, whatever. I'm sorry, Kaden. I just had to, do that.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
What I find funny is that in the midst of all of this, as soon as I saw it on a certain like gossip site similar to the Shade Room. And of course, the first thing I did was went to the comments, because why not, right? I go to the comments and it's so funny how cisgender Black people, and that's including gay men and lesbians, as soon as there's a negative rhetoric towards trans women, it's like they was playing double dutch and they couldn't wait to jump in. Oh my God! See, it's always these men who are jealous of the real women, the natural born women. Yada 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 yada.
Can we put some of that up there, Mo? Can we get some while
So this is the one where you first commented.
No. Oh. They're just randoms. Just give us some random ones.
Oh, okay, so this is one right here. No, that's not it. This one. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
You
keep going back to the same one.
I think I downloaded more than once. I'll probably get drafted for this, but I'm starting to realize trans women do not like biological women. But this is not the time or place for that debate. Let's get back to the fact that this woman was murdered on a trip with her friends. We also have trans identity men, TI, parentheses, not women. Let's not call them trans women. They're not women, y'all. Don't give them that title of a different title.
And we can keep going. We can keep going all day. We can even go in our own comments, but we can do this all. Each one of us in this box can go on all day. Even you, Kaden, as a trans man, can go on all day about how you're not a man. You're not a man.
I don't know which be the Black woman y'all talking about, but none of us in this space like or support Kevin Samuels or his Kitty Hill crew. Kevin was toxic, and
we're not thinking. Okay.
Oh no, but then the trans women need to understand they cannot speak on behalf of Black women or any other women for that matter, because we can handle our own affairs. We've been handling things ourselves for centuries, and we don't need a male mouthpiece to do it for us. Allyship does not mean overstepping one's boundaries.
This is all day. We got so much, but we gotta let him speak. Okay. But we got so much of this, all day long, all day. But go finish, Caden.
So what's crazy about it is they run to the comments and they run to the blogs and they run to the things and they start talking about how trans women aren't women and how they need to just they need to rot in hell and all this stuff. I hope that man burns, all this other crazy stuff. And then when trans women come and say, whoa, 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 that wasn't us. Or even myself as a trans man, I make it my business to not speak on the trans feminine experience because, again, as an ally to trans women, it's not my space, right? But if I see some sort of injustice like this happening, I'm definitely going to speak. I'm going to speak because you're not going to shut me up. So I went into that blog's comments and I was like, why would you spread this lie? Like, that's not correct. A 5-minute Google search would have showed you that wasn't correct. They saw gender-based violence or femicide or feminicide and automatically correlated transness. And they always talk about how we try to insert ourselves in, but they're obsessed with us. Like, we just be out here minding our black ass business. And they'd be like, yep, that's a man. Yep, you'll always be a woman. You'd be like, wait, I was just trying to get a burger. I'm just hungry. So I made a post about it immediately as soon as I saw it, because I reached out to that blog and they told me that I wouldn't have said that if it wasn't a Black-owned blog. And I was like, I wouldn't give a damn if he was black, purple, green, orange, CNN, and MS. I don't give a shit. I'll call them all out. I always will. Oh, that's why we gonna post what we feel is real, girl. So now you misgendered me. Heard you. Okay, so that blog has since took their post down because I had to call them out. Now it's the cousin of this young lady in my inbox talking about how we're not going to overshadow her death with our weird ass identities. And this is why society will never accept us. And my whole thing is, if we say, hey, this wasn't a trans woman, here's the proof. And the family saying this isn't a trans woman. Instead of people saying, okay, who made this meme in the first place? Who started this? Because they're the ones that are overshadowing things. And I always say 2 things can be true at once. We can be mourning her death and also making sure that no trans women have violence incited on them, because let's be real, especially Black men, it don't take much for them to want to actively seek out a trans woman and off her just because. And all you need to do was add that little bit of fuel to that flame. And we're not going to sit here and I always say, we're not going to sit here and act like this is not a thing, especially the cisgender people, because y'all people aren't being murdered just because they are who they are, for the most part, right? Whereas trans women, just for existing and stepping outside of their door every day, can be murdered just for being trans. And when we speak about it, you guys start talking about how you're naturally this and naturally that, and you got a period. Don't nobody care. Me too, girl. It's not that great. What else do you want? What else are we talking about here? You guys, they dwindle themselves down to having babies and vaginas, and then wonder why men are sitting here in their misogyny and sexism and paying them less and treating them like shit, where you could have trans women walking shoulder to shoulder with you, stupid. Like, I don't understand that. And it's this obsession with their fragility in their womanhood, and feeling like a trans woman's existence somehow takes away from you being a woman. And I don't understand that. And we're not even going to talk about how they don't understand adjectives, because.
But also, I think it's important to name they fused the young lady who was fighting her as a target to portray her as a trans woman due to specific features this young lady has. And I want to say that there are a lot of cis Black women who are being bound up by how they think they're supposed to look, their womanhood being dismissed, because of this train of this is what a woman is supposed to look like. And that's what this was also based on, them being anti-Black to her features that many Black women in the South carry.
Read the comment.
That their mamas carry.
Read the comment.
Stop everybody doing too much talking. Let this young lady rest. Doesn't matter who did it. The woman did look very masculine. Let's get real. Play Misty. I cannot zoom in on your picture, but from those legs and from that side profile, niece, you should not be giving that feedback. And I am not saying that truth negates the fact of what gender you were assigned at birth. And that's the point of the conversation. Regardless of any features this young lady has, it doesn't take away her identity. Right. And because of these features, y'all thought it would be an easy win to Photoshop a brush cut on this young lady and make her to be a part of the trans community. So I'm saying there's a deeper layer to this anti-Blackness because these are specific caricatures and features of the Black community, whether it's your nose, whether it's your shape. It's a lot of big hand girls in the South. It's a lot like bodies, types, and shapes. That's a part of our culture as well. Are we okay with doing work and implementing more harm that is going to cause us to not be able to look at Black folks and not see our features show up and everybody's going to look like Kim Kardashian in 5 years? Right? Because that's the culture we're creating. I can't just look like myself, like my mama, like my daddy, like my cousins, like my siblings, and you not erase whatever my gender identity is. And so, yeah, y'all need to just pipe down with that, because Miss Mama with that sturdy leg, with that Popeye the Sailor Man leg piece she was really giving, let's not do that.
We being nice today.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't call for that, because in the same breath of saying we need to focus, you went back to the idea of talking about this young woman's appearance. And what's so funny about this, and what's so very interesting to me about this, is that so many of y'all are talking about the derailing of the conversation and how we're trying to make it about us. We didn't make the graphic and say, oh, that looked like one of my sisters. We didn't circulate the picture on our social medias and say, don't that girl look trans to y'all? We did not open up the discussion for this to change into a completely different discussion than the one that was already being had about this young lady's livelihood, right? We were sitting back like everybody else was sitting back, waiting for the details to unfold. Y'all made it about the girls. And then when the girls found out.
Hold on. They said it was the man who did it was a gay man, a part of our community.
But the thing about it is, regardless of that, the girls didn't do it. Once again.
Exactly.
Regardless of who did it, one of the girls, one of the guys, one of our siblings did not do that. And I'm sick and tired of people acting as if accountability is so fucking hard. The easy thing to do, the right thing to do, would have been to simply take that statement down and say, we apologize to any trans people that might have felt some type of way about this. We did run a little bit too soon with that. But my thing is, now it's fuck y'all, back to regularly scheduled programming, because there's a need to not hold the people who did do it accountable. Because my thing is, we want to be friends with the punks, and we want a punk friend, and we want a CC friend, and all of those things when they're giving the tea, and when they're disclosing who's trans, and when they're doing our hair, and when they're doing all of those things. And so it was okay that the gay boy and that the punk friend outed the trans girl, because we needed that information. And we're not gonna hold him accountable for it, because in the event that information was right, we want him to keep delivering that to us, because we wait on the moment to be able to silence y'all and say, but what about this?
And don't act like that gay men can't be transphobic, because gay men are extremely transphobic.
The biggest ones. Some of the biggest ones
in our community. In our community, gays, lesbians, bis, and that's the thing. It's not being a part of the community doesn't mean that you're not wrong. And they don't want to apologize to us because they don't see us as human beings. We don't matter. We're just people that they can consume when they trying to watch, RuPaul's Drag Race and pose, right? But then in real life, we don't deserve apologies, because at the end of the day, we somehow overshadowed this lady's murder, but we didn't. And even if it was a gay man, that's like saying if a black man said something, a black cisgender man said something horrible about the black community, it's okay because he's in the black community. No, it's not. That doesn't make any sense anywhere else. But you can't use race in the conversation, because what do they say? Oh, we didn't choose to be black. Y'all chose to be trans. No, baby, we didn't choose to be trans. We chose to transition. We were always trans. But they don't want to hear that.
It's still gonna be that. My thing is always protect Black women until it's a Black woman that doesn't fit your stereotypes of what femininity is supposed to look like. Because my thing is, regardless of the fight or not, regardless of all of those things, where are all the Black women that's like protect Black women, protect Black women, protect Black women? Because when this young girl was found to not be transgender, where are all the people saying stop the disrespect? Y'all sit back and y'all talk shit about transgender women, speaking on our experiences as a type of Black woman. Not saying that we're coming through like a wrecking ball and ruining what it means to be a Black woman, but I am a type of Black woman, right? I navigate this world in that way. And whether I'm speaking in the negative or the positive, y'all have a problem with that. But these men will come and tell y'all how to look, act, dress, feel, think, be, what feminine is and what feminine isn't. And y'all don't say a word. But a Black trans woman says, but, and y'all got a problem.
Well, wait, excuse me. I said her own. I've only went with the narrative. I followed. I did exactly what you wanted me to do. I conceded and said, "All right, I'm not okay. I ain't a part of it. I'm not a woman.
Now what?
I'm trans." So,
and then they were mad at that.
That's what sparked all of this. Her own part.
It was a fake outrage. It was this fake pretend outrage. Oh, we got you. You know that sound on TikTok. We got you. We got you. It very much gave that. Y'all jumped on it. And I also want to say, cisgender women, this may come to you one day, but really, girl, much of the transphobia that's been rooted in you is a goop from the patriarchy, because these men are trying to trick you into thinking they hate us. And so they want you to hate us, but they really want you to hate us so you don't surround yourself with us, so they can surround themselves with us and not have to navigate their concerns and feelings about how you would navigate us. And I say that not to say that every man wants to engage with a trans woman sexually. I'm talking about the overall experience of patriarchy is about replacing, taking away voice, impressing upon beliefs and experiences from the male perspective. And much of what's happening from Black cisgender women that I see is really rooted in what they've heard a man say. Exactly. Oh, they try to replace you. They try to replace you. You want to be friends with these trans girls, but you look around and they're gonna try to take your spot. So you better protect. You better protect your space. And it's like, he don't protect your space, niece.
He's not.
Because you can't walk around outside comfortably without having to worry about them. It's not the trans people attacking y'all. And that's the craziest part. They will shield, cisgender Black women will shield cis Black men with their entire bodies, and their kids and their grandmas and their aunties, and everybody got to shield these Black men. And the Black men are the ones inciting the most violence on them.
And there were two cisgender Black men on this trip, and y'all have not tried to hold either of them accountable in any way, shape, or form. That's the real tea.
Cisgender Black man recording the fight.
Y'all had two young kings. You had two young kings on site. Where is that conversation? Where is that conversation?
I did see something where the daddy was wearing them out, saying that the men stood around there and let them have.
But that's one,
right?
But my thing, where are the thousands of videos? Where are the hundreds of videos about these Black kings not showing up in the way that, oh wait, but we forgot. Hold on, let's reel it back, because they're gay, so they're not men. So that's why there's no accountability. I keep forgetting who we're talking about, right? Because to the people on the opposition, those gay boys, you got to remember they're still faggots, right? They're not real men, and so there's no expectation that they would show up like real men. And that goes for the gay men that are watching this in agreement with all of that. Remember,
be careful, be careful, because you'll be accused of anti-Blackness here. You'll be accused of hating men. You'll be accused of hating women. Be careful. Because
Be
when you
very
use
careful.
when you use the words of the evil against them, the words of the evil, the ideas of the evil, when you use this against them, then you become, they become the victim.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what y'all said.
Now y'all say that the gay men's ain't men's. They say
y'all say that.
Y'all say that we ain't women. We'll never be. I hear this. When the sun come up in the morning, before I can get down to my shit good to see who done loved on me, I got 5 people telling me that I ain't real. So, and I ain't one of you, and I ain't this and the other. So why are you angry at me when I succeed? I concede and say, all right, cool. I'm not. But I didn't do this. My folk ain't do this.
Because you take the power back. It's only fun to insult you when I know that it's going to make you upset. It's only fun to troll you when I know that it's going to make you cry. It's only fun to tell you that you're not a woman when I know you're going to get in your feelings about it. But when you own it, guess what? It's not fun no more. I wanted something to do on my lunch break.
Okay, I needed a reason to be mad.
I need a reason to be mad, and also y'all don't want to be fake. The majority of trans women I know have no desire to be a cisgender woman.
I don't
have no desire. Like that.
Same for us trans men. Same for us.
Right.
We're
going back to
happy
that
about
box check.
transness.
We love going back to that box check that Madison talked about. I personally found so much of my power in my transness.
Same.
So much of my power and my freedom in my transness. If you see me on a dating app, you see me on post, there's a reason trans is in my bio. Like this conversation about passabilities, all these other things. I don't seek that because one, all of that is rooted on someone else's eyes on me, giving me some sort of green light. And so most trans people are just going to look sickening. The gag is y'all have not realized most cisgender women, they're getting the facial femmes and the body modifications that the trans girls got forever. And so you think we're trying to reproduce what they really adapted from most trans girls who were just trying to make it. Because y'all have told them their nose, their face shape, their booty, whether it's big or small, and all of that is not enough. And so these girls, cis and otherwise, are doing all these things to their bodies to conform to something that, for me, I feel like at the end of the day is not rooted in really appreciating how we as Black folks show up. And if we would release many of those barriers, if a girl has a strong jawline, it would not position you to wonder what was her sex assigned at birth.
But the problem is that's the only reason why it's a topic of discussion. It's only ever going to be a topic of discussion if they can clock it or if they can't clock it. But the girls that get through just get through. And they fail to realize that that's a huge part of the problem as well. Y'all only felt the need to clock it because y'all felt like it was going to be embarrassing. Y'all felt like the videos to ensue afterwards were going to be thousands of videos talking about this young girl's looks and talking about how she doesn't fit the mold of what y'all believe femininity to be. But guarantee y'all, trust and believe, has she been a bitch that pushed all the way the fuck through, that tea would have been so buried underneath every carpet, it don't make no sense. Had y'all pulled up a picture of that bitch and couldn't find a flaw here today or tomorrow or the year afterwards, none of us would have known that she was a trans woman. It's only okay to do it when you feel like you're going to embarrass us with the idea that we've tried to assimilate to what you are and we missed the mark. As long as the girls are giving clock, as long as the girls are giving linebacker, as long as the girls are giving holiday heart, y'all want to talk about it 50 times over and have 70,000 different conversations.
You see this comment, right?
But you know what, Corey? I push back on that because y'all believe the word of trans. If we got on here and we were trying to out somebody for dating trans, if we got on here today and we gave you a list of the biggest celebrities in the world and said we all fuck them, y'all would believe it and y'all would be making blog posts and y'all would be running articles about it. And no one is saying that cis women are trying to be like us. We're saying we're not trying to be like them.
Exactly.
We're saying that you're looking at traits of femininity and masculinity that are universal, and that you're that you're trying to say that there's this idea of replication. I can never be a cis woman, and I have no desire to be a cis woman at all whatsoever. That's what we're saying, and I think y'all gag because y'all want us to say, "Oh my God, I really want to be like y'all." I never will be, but will y'all let us in the clubhouse? Because we'll be really excited. And there's some girls who give y'all that. And there's some girls who give y'all that, and that's her experience. I'm not even going to shade them for that. They might be doing what they have to do to make it where they are at. But as for me in my house, I'm really great with who I am, but
That's
you would
right.
believe us if we was out here talking shit about somebody's business, if we were bringing something
true,
here
yeah.
that you thought was teaful, if we was on Twitter out here posting videos, y'all believe that at all time, but you never believe when we say that we don't want to be cis. You'll never believe when we say the girls are being murdered. But let us be out here telling somebody's business. Y'all live for it all day.
And have you ever noticed that they have a tendency to, no matter what we say out of our faces, they take it and what comes back out, what they regurgitate is what they interpreted and not what we said. And I'd be like, no, I literally said this. No, but the context clues and the way that you furrowed your eyebrow that one time, you'd be like, what? It doesn't make any sense. Literally nobody said that cis women were trying to be like trans women. If you can say that somebody modeled something after someone, and that doesn't mean, oh, you're trying to, mimic us or duplicate us. Like it's okay. It's okay because cisgender women were not getting the surgeries that they were getting, that trans women have been getting for as long as I've known trans women to exist. It's just a fact. It's okay.
Trans are hormonal and violent. Let's speak truth to power.
I've seen that said about cis women as well. I've seen cis women's periods be used. I've seen cis women who are pregnant be used. Oh, you're hormonal and you being a lot right now. My thing is, y'all want that to be the truth. And that's why y'all ran with that story, because y'all can't find a story to first about a trans woman just bumping up into a fight with a cis woman. Y'all can't find it.
Because if we beat asses like that, a lot of y'all girls would have asses beat. Like if we beat asses like that, a lot of you girls would have asses beat. And also, that's what they've said about Black people since the beginning of time. They said that to enslave us, we were naturally violent. Mm-hmm. We could handle more pain. And so y'all also do not focus on, you take the same language that white people have used to oppress us to try to oppress Black trans people. And that's frightening to me. I'm sorry to cut you off, Hope.
No, but that's exactly what the fuck it is. It's one of those things where y'all want to be able to use the tools of the master to imprison people who y'all believe are lower than y'all. And I have to break this all the way down. At the end of the day, what a lot of this is about the fact that you don't have anyone to bully. Right? You don't have anybody a lot of the time, and this is a comment that is specifically for some, not all, Black cisgender women. Right? Because there are a certain group of you all who know that if it's not a trans woman, nobody is going to care about the fact that you want to say something negative. You can't take that shit to Black men and talk about it because you're going to be shouted down by both Black men and the pick-me's. You can't take that shit to white men because you already know where it's going with that. You can't do that shit to Karen and them because depending on who she's attached to, you still gonna be in trouble. And so there's nobody else but the Black trans girls, because if people don't like one thing, it's Black people, it's queer people, and it's women. And so at the end of the day, when I throw all of them bitches into one washing machine and come out with a trans girl, oh, I can fuck y'all hoes up whenever I feel like it, and nobody's going to care about you. Because when it comes down to racism, misogyny, and the phobias, the trans girls encompass them all. And y'all live to sit on that ball every single day. Whenever you have a bad day, if you can't pick on nobody else out here in these streets, y'all can always target us. And y'all think that we haven't learned the game. And we have. And we let y'all live because like Dominique said, if we were violent the way that y'all said that we were, if we were so mean the way that y'all claim that we are, if we were so this, that, and the third that we claim that we are, some of the girls are 6'5", 245 pounds and used to play football their entire motherfucking life. If we really wanted to go there, we would. There's no threat except the one that you create in your head. Stop it.
All right, let me add a gay man to this situation. Actually, a drag queen. Hey, hey, Spilly Boy TV, what's the tea?
Hey, guys, what's going on?
I watched your panel a bit last night. I saw a bit of your panel last night, and I did see that the people were having their opinions and stuff about it. And your comment section was extremely lit. I just was like, wow, bless your heart.
Right. Look, there's so much that has actually been said that are things that I've been saying down here on YouTube since like 2014. 2014, I've been telling you all, no, our community is not perfect.
No, we're not.
Perfect at all. We have divides. We have divides. I occupy a strange space. Most times, well, I'll say a lot of times, these girls that are up here now we don't get along. Drag queens and trans women, they butt heads a lot. And when I say that, people say that's not true or they're not interested. Same thing with trans men. It's like there's a divide between us. I hate it. I hate it because I'm not that person. See, I don't have that issue. I have friends and loved ones all throughout the whole thing. But it's very, very real. It's very real. And my whole thing with coming live about the situation was my disgust with the actual situation on Shanquella and the fact that I wasn't going to go too far into it because we don't know what the truth is. But all of this other stuff is why I showed up. I showed up because it was all of this stuff are all agendas. These were deadly agendas. None of this stuff is by chance. None of this stuff was an accident. Maddie was targeted from the beginning. When she was being targeted about not speaking is because they wanted her to speak. They wanted her to speak because they knew that they were going to attack her. It didn't matter what she said. It didn't matter what she said. She was going to get that work. That's all that it was. This was an opportunity to get her again. That's all it was. It was an opportunity to get her again, and people fell for it. People fell for it. It was just what it was. I mean, I sat and I watched. I'm like, this is so blatant. It is so blatant. So it didn't matter how she went. It was going to get ugly. And then the divide is coming. The divide is coming. Here we are. We're right here. Now, I've been sitting backstage. I was invited naturally, just like everybody else. But I'm sitting backstage and I'm like, I'm the oddball on the panel. But guess what? I'm good with that. I'm good with that because it's the truth. It's the truth. There are gay males like me who hate. Do you hear me? They hate trans women. They hate them. And they will give them the blues. And I've told you all a million times, and take it how you want to, because I don't give a shit. Nobody heterosexual. None of you. None of you. Do you understand me? None of you will ever be able to hurt us the way we hurt each other because you're not qualified. You're not qualified. Nobody heterosexual will ever be able to hurt a trans woman the way that another gay individual can hurt them. When I say certain things to them, it can be the same thing you say, but it cuts deeper. We are one. Even though we separate ourselves out, we're different, but we're still sisters and brothers. We are.
Speaking of differences, my God, today, Frank White.
Girl, fuck you. Don't get your ass whooped, Maddie, bitch. I know where you live.
Hey, Flame.
Hello, ladies. Hello, ladies in the chat.
Hey, Flame.
All right, let's hear it.
I'm listening. Listen, you invited me here. I'm listening to the conversation.
I want to hear it because you definitely the anomaly on the panel.
I promise you. Today I'm not. Today there's so many things I have agreed with what you guys have said today. I just think that y'all got off the topic because y'all were talking about Shanquilla's murder, not about the trans women. I thought that's what I was listening to that because I was trying to find the more details about the murder because I watched her father's video. The father was heartbroken that he had to spend $7,000 just to get his daughter's body home. The father was heartbroken that this girl went out with friends. Now, I thought it was very wrong. Whoever made it that it was a trans woman that killed that young lady. That wasn't a trans woman. That was an angry ass biological woman. Now, hear me when I tell you, I'm with my sisters when they write, but when it's bullshit and I feel like it's bullshit, I just speak my mind. But today, I think y'all own it today because I thought it was sad. And a lot of times you think that somebody is your friend and you found out that this girl found out the hard way. It cost her life. That's fucked up.
Yeah. Definitely.
Prayers to the family and prayers to my strong sisters, because as much as y'all think that I don't care for my sisters and I'm this and I'm that, I knew yesterday, I said on my live yesterday morning before all the details came out of Colorado Springs, that was either a drag queen or a trans that got with that nigga's ass, because you know the girls will fight and buck up and knuck up. And I'm starting with Muhammad Ali on here, who is Hope Giselle, because you know that bitch is Muhammad Ali, baby. She always ready. I knew it was a trans girl or either a drag queen that stopped his ass, and I appreciate that, because Marsha P. Johnson was the blueprint. The girls always fight back, even though, like you said, we fight with each other, but the girls always will stand up when the shit go down and stand together when your back is to the wall. That is what people miss about trans women and trans men. We will band together when our back is to the wall. We just do a lot of infighting, just like Baby said down here at the bottom. It's a lot of infighting with each other, and I hate that, but hey, that's where we at.
Well, it's a lot of infighting with each other because we all want our identity to be. It's kind of just like in any community. We all want our identity or our cause to be in the front line. We all want that. But at the end of the day, yesterday was my coming out party. Ladies and gentlemen, I am all trans. I am all trans, bitch. No, I'm joking. But
I was gonna say, because I seen you naked, but you ain't have to convince nobody of that.
and you want to know the gag, sister? They damn near all seen me naked too. So bitch, they know.
You know we had these conversations off live. Hello, everyone in the chat, y'all. Don't be. Hi, y'all. I'm in Seattle. I'm not at home.
You know, the funny thing, the shit that's interesting to me is that had this not come out, had there not been a whole mistaken trans identity bullshit, what we do know for the people that follow Maddie is that Maddie would have covered it once she had the time to cover it and talked about it. And whether it been a drag queen, butch queen, trans girl, whatever the case may be, she would have held anybody's feet to the fire. So the fact that there is always this hate train whenever there's something to do with a Black woman who has been beaten or whatever the case may be, and there's always this, the thing that fucks with me with a lot of the people is that there's always this need for a gotcha moment. It's always this person that hops in our inbox like, oh, I bet you ain't gonna talk about this. I bet you ain't gonna say nothing about this. I bet y'all ain't gonna talk about this. Like when that whole Hennessy bullshit was going on, I had so many DMs like, ooh, but I bet you ain't gonna say nothing about this Hennessy situation because she did wrong. And it's like, you do realize who I am, right? Hold on, let me remind you. Let me tap my mic real quick. Because ain't nobody safe. Wrong is wrong, right is right. And regardless of whether or not you agree with my right or my wrong, I'm gonna say something. But you don't get to dictate when I say something. I do. And so it's the fact that y'all really try to dictate when Maddie was supposed to say something. And then, like this, like Spilled Boy TV said, once she said something, the goal wasn't to listen to what she had to say. The goal was just to get her talking so that y'all can be upset about it. No matter what she said. She could have got on there and simply said, condolences to the family. I really hate that this happened. Da 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 da. And y'all would have still said, but you see the tone in his voice. You heard the way he said condolences to the, like y'all just be wanting to be mad for no reason. And I don't understand it. It's about derailing the conversation, but y'all took this conversation and made it something completely different.
I agree with you on that, Hope. I agree with you on that, Hope. And yesterday I said on my live and I texted TS message because they was in my inboxes. I wasn't familiar with it. And then somebody was showing me all the comments they were saying. I said, well, what did Maddie say? And I was like, Maddie don't hate women. Maddie don't hate Black women. She has a great relationship with Allegra. Have you seen the relationship that she had with my baby mama, Miss Mary? Because you know I call Miss Mary my baby mama. Have you seen that relationship? She don't hate women. But Maddie, the higher you climb, and the more people who can't get to where you are going to come after you to destroy you. Sometimes, girl, I'm gonna need you not to fuel that fire. Girl, fuck it. Just disregard it and keep moving forward. You don't have to respond to everything. Let them talk. The higher you climb, they're gonna keep on talking. Girl, they can kiss my dick in the face.
Well, they also don't genuinely want our opinion.
You got a dick, ma'am? Ma'am, you got a dick? What?
I didn't even know how to respond to that. I'm just sitting here like, what?
I will also say they don't want to hear our opinion. They want us to answer for what other people have said. And when I think about the infighting or the disagreements that we see within the trans community, specifically Black folks, it's that if Flame says something, I got to answer to what Flame said. What Flame said, Flame is grown. That's Flame's experience, right? I can disagree with that. Hennessy, is 20 something, and I may have been that girl at 20 something. At 40, I don't agree with that, but I'm also not gonna get on live, and I don't maybe want to address it because I don't feel like attacking that girl because y'all got that handled already. Why is that my responsibility to police the voices of other Black trans people, other Black people in general? Because if you want my opinion, but my opinion doesn't align with yours, then it was trash. Then it was a problem in the first place. So what you really want me to do is answer for other people or shut those people up. And that's not my job to do because I don't want anyone to do that to me. We all have lived multiple experiences. We come from different places. And as Spillboys TV said, within the LGBTQ plus community overall, folks have different ways of knowing. Right. And that's theirs. That does not mean that I have to be responsible for that. And I can still love them and be like, girl, I didn't say that. They got to do with me. And so that makes it hard for us just to have community because I don't get to just be your friend. I gotta be in a position to police you, or I can't even be your friend because I may not agree with what you say, and I don't even want to get close to you because the world is going to make me accountable for that. And I see a lot of division, lack of community, due to this perception that I got to be the Don Lemon for the girls. I'm like, bitch, I'm tired. I don't want to do that today. And that's
come on, Don Lemon.
Love her, right? I think that's just real.
Baby, listen, we have had like the people. I'm going on the Twitter to see what the people is talking about on the Twitter. You know, I'm going to see what they are talking about in the situation. I'm gathering it up. I'm looking at seeing y'all tweets. I thank you guys for really enjoying the show. You know, I didn't put Shanquilla's name in this story, in this title of this video. I put it's a lot to unpack because I wanted to talk about all of the stuff. Like I wanted to talk about everything in totality. I wanted to talk about it, all of it. And I didn't want to I didn't even use her hashtag or anything. I just named this video, It's a Lot to Unpack, so that we can really sit here and talk about all the things that we want to unpack.
Well, let me say this, Maddie, before you get outside of here. With Flame, because, again, I was talking about these deadly agendas that get carried out. Now, I've been a fan of Flames for 9 million years. 9 million years I go back following Flame, okay? When I was just a little baby drag queen.
Hold on, I'm only 25. Don't do that.
I'm only 13. But what they do with Flame a lot of time, because Flame is different. Flame's opinion is most of the time different than the masses. And how they always say, oh, they're pushing that gay agenda. They're pushing that gay agenda. You don't think that we see that agenda that y'all try to push sometimes when they go with Flame? They'll go grab Flame to speak on something to say to us, see, no, because Flame said, and I know you all have to notice that. They do it.
Wait a minute, because in my defense, they don't come to me for that. They come to me just to ask my opinion. I'm not against the community. I'm part of the community, whether they want me to be or not. But I'm a fair person. And so when I see things, I'm going to see it on both sides of the angle, because that's the only way we're going to mend these fences, is by coming to the table with our hands on the table to have real conversations to make change, not to be disgruntled and argue. And everything, I don't agree with my community, but I also don't agree with everything in the straight community. I don't. Right. And I give them a lot of pushback. That's just not what y'all see. Y'all don't see the pushback that I give, because especially when it comes to my trans sisters.
Following you, Flame, I see all the sides of what you do, and that's not, I wasn't attacking, I'm just saying how it comes out, because they pretty much, they'll go and they throw it back at us all the time. Well, Flame said this, Flame said that, because it's a lot of times the opposite of what we may be saying. Now the thing is, I don't always agree with Flame, I don't always disagree with Flame either. But I see it a lot. I think it's an agenda a lot of times, the whole throw Flame back at, even with Maddie, because Maddie don't always go along with the get along. Maddie's opinion a lot of times will be completely opposite, and they'll do the same thing with her. But this one, I swear, for me, it was all an agenda to get her. It was all an agenda to get her. They wanted to get her. They just needed her to start talking. it didn't matter what Maddie said on this.
Well,
They were
I think all parties involved in that murder down there with Shanquella should be, and the guy who videotaped, all the people that were there that didn't try to stop it, that didn't help her, that just pushed it and let this child be beat to death, they all should be arrested and put in jail. All of them.
I don't even know why it's even a question. They're all accomplices.
When Ahmaud Arbery was murdered in Georgia, the guy who videotaped it, he got the same sentence everybody. They should sentence the guy who everybody should go to jail because you were all involved in this. You were complicit, which silence is complicit. You were silent about that bullshit. You should be your dumb ass in jail.
Right.
Go be a cellies with Ty Chrisley. He gonna need a celly.
Put that question back.
Yeah.
Anti-mogul asks, do y'all think that overall cis het Black people are enemies to the Black LGBTQIA? Thoughts?
Hell no. Hell no. Absolutely not.
I do not. I do not believe. Listen to me thoroughly. I do not believe that cis het Black people are enemies to our community. I don't believe that all of them are. I don't believe that all Black women feel some type of vicious, heinous way towards trans people. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. But if I tell you that I've had these experiences and I've showed you that I've had these experiences, please don't disregard that. Right. Just like I don't disregard when I hear women say I've had bad experiences with trans women, because I do believe that it happened, because I've had bad experiences with some of the motherfucking hoes. Some of them.
Well, let me say this. Since I'm the oldest bitch on the panel, let me say this. For most trans women, when they were young gay boys, or gay boys when they were young gay, they're usually, and this is only usually, this is not no statistic, this is in my experience, your best friend was a biological girl. If she said, "Oh, I like David," you felt safe enough to say, "Oh, I like David too," but don't tell nobody. That's our secret. But when we find our gayism or our transism or whatever you want to call it, then you become better than that girl. That's the shit right there. That's the hypocrisy to me, because you trusted this girl enough to become her best friend and divulge your biggest secret of your life at that time to her. But then you found out who you were, and then you became better than her. That's the shit I have an issue with. Because if I came out to a girl and told her my secret and we was best friends, then I found my transgender, then I'm better than her? Bullshit. And if any bitch that don't like what I said, you know my number.
I wanted to weigh in on that last question real quick, because I have a different opinion.
Okay. Can we put the question back?
Yeah, hold on.
We're going to put the question back.
Okay.
And then we're going to go back, because, Kaden, I need for you to do me a favor today, because I want you to break down from a trans, because you're a trans man. They always hearing so much from us trans women, and we really don't hear a lot from trans men like we should. But I want you to break down the terms cis het, like all the terms that, because there's also a fight going around with people
with the words.
They don't want to be I don't want to be called cis. Mm-hmm. And when we say cis, Spill It Boy is cis. He's a cis gay male.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when we say cis,
I was trying to get. Flame knew I was coming over there, and that's why I was saying. Flame laughing. That's a mental connection that I got with my sister. Because see, my sister know I was getting ready to say. And then I just hushed. That's why she falling out laughing like that.
And that's it, and that's all.
Okay, so let's Kaden, let's hear from you on this question.
Okay, so I guess I'll talk about the term first, and then I'll get into my answer for the question. So cisgender, cis is a prefix. It's a Latin prefix. It means on the side of, and basically it means. I always say the simplest way to think of cisgender or cis is the opposite of trans, the antonym of trans. Cisgender is not a pronoun. It's not a gender. It's an adjective, just like trans. It's a descriptor word. It's the same as saying black women, tall women, pretty woman, fat woman, skinny woman. It's just a descriptor of what type of woman or man or individual you are. Het is just heterosexual. Cis het is a junction. What is your function? It's the two words put together. And it's just a shortened way instead of saying cisgender heterosexual all the time. Now, to answer the question, my take on this question is that overall, as a majority, I do feel like cisgender heterosexual Black people are enemies to the Black community, LGBTQIA community. And here's why I feel that way. I feel that way because though they may not have feelings of malice towards us, though they may not outwardly have hate, and though there may be a lot of them that love us, there aren't enough of them that are taking up for us. There aren't enough of them that are being in allyship with us. There are too many that sit back and watch violence happen and feed into certain narratives. For example, that we as trans people are out here tricking people, or cisgender gay men are the only ones that are contracting and giving out HIV and all that good stuff, and that we're all these sexual deviants and we're not supposed to be on TV and all of those things. And there, you see how much of the majority sits here and acts like, if kids see a drag queen, they're suddenly gonna, I don't know, if they're a girl, start eating coochie and vice versa. Like it's a very weird agenda that happens, and there's not enough people saying, no, this isn't a thing. I don't know if you guys know who the Conscious Lee is, but he talks a lot. He's a Black cisgender heterosexual man who's an actual ally of the community. And one of his sayings is, one of his sayings is, we can't be free unless we are all free. And it's not, if you're going to be an ally, if you're not a part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And that's just being honest. Nobody's holding these Black men accountable who are murdering trans women. Nobody's holding these people accountable who are being completely oppressive, because as Hope was talking about, and as Dominique was talking about, I call it an oppression Olympics. A lot of people they feel like, yes, we're oppressed, but at least we're less oppressed than you. So I get to bully you. And it kind of comes off as that. And those who don't feel those feelings and those who might love the community also aren't speaking up as a majority. I'm not saying that there isn't a large amount of people that do it. I'm not saying that it's not happening. I'm saying as a majority, what we see, the narrative that we see from Black cisgender heterosexual people is that either there's outward hate and transphobia and homophobia, or people are just like, oh, I'm sweet and I'm not going to say anything, which is just as violent. So that's just my opinion.
Can I ask a question? How old are you?
Me?
Yes.
I'm 36.
In the words of my grandmother, keep living. Because you were completely off the mark. You were, in my opinion, you were completely off the target with that. You started off saying that Black people are against, most cisgender Black people were against heterosexual and gay. We all came from cisgender people, most of us did. Our family loved us. So your love starts with your family and the people that you surround yourself with. To me, my opinion, you sound like a lot of love is missing in your life, sweetheart. I'm sorry to say that. Because I'm sorry, the black cisgender people are not against gay and trans. They are not. They are our allies. Now we do have some negativities, but let's start at home. Trans and gay people are against each other. The baby downstairs at the bottom said that when I first came on. We are so separated and divided, which is why they continuously conquer us. And with the mentality that you have, that Black people, straight Black people, hate gays and trans, dude, you shouldn't even spread that message. That is fucked up. Let me just say it to you.
I didn't even use the word hate.
That's exactly what you said. You can talk it in different terms, but I'm an ABC bitch. I'm a real simple person. You said that the majority of them were against us. That is not, everybody on this panel was Black. Baby, and you still here. Your mama had a choice. She could have flushed your ass. Okay, Maddie, but I'm smart. I'm a beautiful bitch.
When you started, the first thing, when the word, I've never heard cisgen. I'm to be honest. I
thought cis was short.
Never heard that really like that. But when they said it, the first thing came to mind. I got a visual picture of my mama, and I'm like, that's not true. Yeah. My mother and my brother love me, so I'm like, that's I got lost.
Too. I think it's one. We were all consistent that folks were sharing their individual lived experience.
Right.
And I think it's inauthentic of Flame to consistently share their lived experience and struggle to hear other people's. I really wish that she would have stayed on, because I think, as they constantly say, this is where real conversations happen. And so that said a lot to me in that moment. Two, Kaden has a specific lived experience.
Right.
And also, I think the definition of maybe Black folks were loved in the best way that Black folks knew how to love at that time. I struggle with hearing that from people who have actively told stories about them being homeless, them being put out, them having to do sex work at a young age,
there, so.
right? So there's, and I'm talking about in regards to it starts at home, while we also actively watch Dwayne Wade be attacked because he's actively loving his child in this full way. I personally do not believe that, because the question is, do y'all think that overall cishet Black people are enemies to the Black LGBT community?
That's the part that I disagree with.
The question was really in totality.
Yeah.
And again, Kaden is speaking from their experience. And for me, I have found a requirement for me to really have love and relationship to Black community. So even in the face of harm I've experienced, I've tried to focus on that this is a part of a system of white supremacy as well. Because if you look at the literal things that Black people, cishet Black folks have said to harm queer folks, it's a derivative of things that were said to us in times that we were being oppressed and couldn't go into. There was a time we couldn't go into certain restrooms, and you better take your butt home. All these other things, they just roll downhill. And I think that, one, I'm really thankful Madison brought us all together, because we all don't usually get to talk like this. We are pretty much talking in kind of our own echo chambers. And I think there's a generational experience as well, right? Black queer folks of a certain age y'all had to experience a lot to get to where you are. And there's a lot of younger Black queer folks who are saying, I know y'all did that, I'm choosing not to do that. And I think that there's a little bit of a tone of, well, I went through that and I'm all right. Why can't you go through it and be all right? And so I think there's a lot of voices and experiences happening. But I want to personally say that even when I see harm from the Black community, I see it and name it as a derivative of the same systems that have harmed cishet Black people, and hurt people. And so I still got to find a way to love them, because as you said, they're my aunties, they're my cousins, they're my mama, all those things. And even if there is harm, I don't think we should use that as an excuse to lean into whiteness, because what I can say I live in Atlanta now, but I'm born and raised in Omaha, Nebraska. I fell into that as a young person. I'm 40 years old. Black spaces are unsafe. Let me root myself in white spaces. And it was an insidious approach to ripping me apart from the inside, because not only did I have this fear of my Black community, I came to pull away. And if you got fear of Blackness of other Black people, you essentially have fear of yourself, I feel. And so the answer is not to lean into whiteness. My answer is I'm going to keep fighting to be in Black spaces, because if I love Black people well, I feel like I'm inherently going to love myself well as a Black person.
Right. And I agree 1,000% with you. And I need to be clear that I love being Black, and I love Black people. I love Black people. Love, love, love. Anybody who knows me knows I love Black people. And like I said earlier, two things can be true at once. Whereas the wording is kind of harsh. Enemies, no. Do I think we're enemies? No. But that's why I was like, as a majority, it's harmful. As a majority, the Black community can be harmful. And whether or not it's purposeful, and that's why I was trying to be clear about. Like, it doesn't mean that there isn't love there. But even in that love, if you're sitting by silently and allowing things to happen and not speaking up and using your voices as the least oppressed, I guess you can say, that's when it becomes harmful. And that's all I mean. Like, in the sense of allyship, there is definitely not the majority that's hateful, but there's a large majority that's hateful, and there's a large majority that's not doing anything. And then there's the kind of minority that is embracing and loving in all situations. They're not switching up when this narrative of a trans person beating up a woman is happening. They're not switching up when, you know, their best friend found out that their baby daddy is actually DL. They're not switching up in those spaces. They're just overall loving and encompassing of the community in that way.
And again, I just want to reiterate that, Kaden. I didn't agree with everything that Flame said. It was just, I did get stuck at the question itself. I was just like,
enemies. I should have said that in the beginning too.
Yeah,
I apologize.
The enemy part in that.
Yeah.
And let's just be honest. It's a lot of it is life. You got to kind of take it and then you know what it is, call it what it is, and then you kind of got to move on with it. Because now let's be honest, just today, this afternoon, before I came, I was backstage for a long time. I've been backstage for most of the broadcast. If just listening to you all, it sounds like I wouldn't actually even be welcome onto the platform with the things that we're, if we be very honest, we're talking about butch queens, because even though I'm femme and all that, and I'm a drag queen, I'm listed under butch queen. And from the conversation, it sounds like I wouldn't even be welcome onto the panel. But then I don't internalize that because I know what this looks like. I know what it looks like. And there's no all. There is no all. All cisgender people don't hate us and don't hate y'all. All the transgender girls don't hate all of the butch queens. Now, are there some that do? Oh, absolutely. 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 It just kind of is. You got to figure it out. You know what I mean? It ain't, I don't think it's ever going to be 100% correct. I don't think it'll ever be 50% correct. You just got to learn how to move. And we just keep on talking, keep having the conversations. But what I will not stand for is that division that's trying to be made with the us. I don't like the us against them thing. I don't like it. And people think they want that battle. You don't ever want that battle of the us against them.
No,
you really do not. You don't want that us against them. Not in the little subsection. You definitely don't want the whole LGBTQIA to get on one side and all the heteros to get on the other side. You may think you want that battle. You don't.
Right.
You don't. There will
I just
be.
want to point out real quick the difference between majority and all.
Yeah.
Can we point that out real quick? Because I feel like when we start having these conversations, you can literally say majority 1,000 times and people will still hear all. You could say the majority of the people, but yes, there are people who are loving, and all people hear is negativity. I never said all straight people hate anyone. I never used that word. I said majority, and I was very purposeful about my use of verbiage. Sometimes we have to stop taking things as an attack just because you hear a comment about the majority. It's given me very much a white woman being upset because I said that, the world is rooted in white supremacy and anti-blackness. And you sitting in the room as a white person, I didn't call you racist. I said the world is rooted in anti-blackness and white supremacy. That is not a direct attack on you or every white person. And same goes for straight people.
Right. Okay. All right. I'm glad that we cleared all of that stuff up. I just got a phone call from my mom. I have to call her back. Now, my brother was in a car accident, so I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I think he's okay. He's good. Like, cause I just asked her, did she speak to him, and she just said that he's good. But my mother is hysterical right now.
Right,
like,
bro, wrap this up.
Is in a hysterical space. So I'm getting ready to close out to you guys and call and as long as I knew that I've heard them they've had conversations with him. I'm like, okay. But I'm going to get over here and, see what's going on. I thank you guys that came on the panel. Thank you, Kaden. Thank you, Spill It Boy TV. Yeah. Thank you, Hope. Thank you, my sister, goddamn Dominique. Thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much, very, very much. I will talk with you guys later on. And once again, justice for Shanquella Robinson, please.
Right.
Nice to meet you guys.
All right. See you guys. Goodbye. End this out, Mo. I gotta go call my mama back. Shh. Quit talking and listen. Get over to my Patreon right now so that you can receive some exclusive content from the TS herself. Who you said? The TS. Patreon is filled with one-on-one exclusive content, behind the scenes. You can even chat with me in there. Me and you. It's just me and you. So get to www.patreon.com/TS Madison Hinton, and you'll be glad you did. I promise. Hey everybody, this is T.S. Madison, and if you are trying to grow your business, brand, or product, why not advertise with me? Email me at booktsmadison@gmail.com so that you can get in on our comprehensive advertisement packages. Unique visits, unique subscribers, honey, a broad demographic. Advertise with me today. This has been a T.S. Madison and RDE Multimedia Group presentation. Hey guys, if you just enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/TS Madison Hinton. Or if you're already here, click that bell up there, one of them, and subscribe so that you don't miss this or any other excellent content that I have for you. Don't meet me here. Beat me here. Ciao. You
right
don't
there.
have no other choice but to see me because I'm in everything and everywhere. I'm in film, television, streaming, music, bitch, and pornography. Bye.